man out of the dust of the ground. What color was he? Black. Right? So that's showing how special we are. The same blood that comes to you, it's in your veins. It's the same blood of our forefathers. The apostles that you read of, that you're lineage to them. You're a descendant. You're a son of them. Give me what's required from us. How you doing, my brother? How you doing? Now we're going to read what God required of us. And you had a question, right? You was on the say? Okay. If you do, please ask me, all right?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 12.
Because it's good knowing, it's fine knowing that Christ is black, the Jews are black, we're God's chosen people. That's beautiful. But it's not going to profit us nothing if we don't change as a society.
And now Israel, what does the Lord thy God require of thee?
So God is saying, what do I require of my sons and my daughters, the so-called blacks and Hispanics? What I require from you?
But to fear the Lord thy God.
To fear him.
To walk in all his ways.
Walk in all his ways.
And to love him.
To love him.
And to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
Now he's going to explain how do you love him and fear him.
To keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day, for thy good.
For your good, for us good. He said, this is what I need from you. As a father, you love me, I need you to respect me, fear me, and do what I say. Keep my commandments. Like for instance, you know the 10 Commandments, right? All right. What is, do y'all know them? The 10 Commandments?
Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not kill. Okay.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Yes. Those are good ones. Do you know about the God's holy day? You know about the Sabbath?
No.
That's part of the 10 Commandments. In Deuteronomy 20, chapter 20, that's when he gave the 10 Commandments, right? The first one, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt, you know, saying, don't have no statues and bow down to them, right? Now we're going to number 4. Now this is number 4 right here, right? Out of the 10 Commandments.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
So imagine this is the 4th commandment. My sister, how y'all doing? Good. Hey, I was talking to my brothers right here about the 10 Commandments. Y'all heard about the 10 Commandments, correct? Okay, so we're talking about the 4th commandment, right?
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
We're talking about the Sabbath day. Have you heard about the Sabbath day? Right?
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
So God said out of those 6 days, because there's 7 days in a week. So he said, you got 6 days, do whatever you got to do.
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
When you look in the calendar, what is the 7th day in the calendar? The 7th. Huh? What do you say? The 7th. 7th day? Yes. When you look at the calendar, the first day is Sunday. So begin, a lot of people say Monday because that's when most of us start work. So we think number 1. But when you look at it, the 7th day is Saturday. So he said, you got Sunday to Friday to do all your work. But the 7th day, Sábado, 7th, is the Lord's day. That's the Sabbath day.
In it thou shalt not do any work.
So in that day, which is today, we're not actually supposed to work. There's things we're supposed to do, but not work.
Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
That means nobody. Nobody's in the family is supposed to work on this day. They don't teach that in religion, in the churches, right? They teach Sunday, which is the wrong day. You never read about God saying, hey, I'm going to change the day. He hollowed that from Genesis 2. He said, I took the 7th day and I holiday. No man can change that. So he said, number 4, keep the Sabbath day. So today, we're not supposed to be working, buying and selling.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 10, verse 31. And if the people of the land bring ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell.
Remember, he said, keep the Sabbath day holy. So we got to realize, okay, how do I keep it special? How do I keep it holy? So I say, if people in that day bring stuff to wear, food or clothing, anything of that sort,
on the Sabbath day to sell, that we will not buy it of them on the Sabbath.
We're not supposed to buy on this day. That's all the way from the beginning. And when you go to Luke, you read the Bible before, my sisters, right? Did Christ keep the Sabbath? Because we're supposed to be so-called Christian, believe in Christ. A lot of people say, I'm a follower of Christ. But did Christ keep the Sabbath? You don't know? Give me that Luke 4. I'm bringing that out for a purpose. Because a lot of people say, okay, it says that, but we under Christ, things change, right? But we're supposed to be followers of him.
The book of Luke, chapter 4, verse 16.
Bring it out.
And he came to Nazareth, where he began to be brought up. And as his custom was,
that means what you were brought up, right? Your custom, your religion.
He went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up for to read.
So even he kept the Sabbath. So that's showing you what we've been taught in Christian religion and these churches are completely wrong.
That's right.
Because Christ kept the commandment. He kept the Sabbath. I mean, we're supposed to keep the Sabbath.
Right.
Any questions so far? My sisters, any questions? Where y'all from, my sisters? Okay, what's your nationality? Because what we teaching, I'm sorry, go ahead. Mexican. According to the Bible, the so-called Mexican are from the tribe of Issachar. My brother Benjamin, right? The so-called, anybody from so-called Jamaicans are from the tribe of Benjamin. I'm so-called Puerto Rican. I'm from the tribe of Ephraim. So this is what I'm showing in the Bible. That our names, that the nationality that we got right now, you don't find in the Bible. You're not going to find Jamaican. You're not going to find Mexican, Puerto Rican. You won't find those names. What you'll find is Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim. You know why is that important? Matthew 15:24. You know why it's important to know who we are according to the Bible? Does it matter? Does it even matter? That's the question. Does it matter who we are in the Bible? You don't think so? What do y'all think? Does it matter? How you doing, my sis? How you doing? Does it matter to know who we are according to the Bible? Does it matter? Okay, let's read.
The book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24.
Bring it out.
But he answered and said, I am not.
Now this is Christ. Somebody came to him, a woman of another nation, right? That wasn't a Jew, wasn't an Israelite, right? And he said, this is his response to her.
But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So imagine, let's read up. I want them to get the context. I want to show you the importance that, guess what? The God that they teach in the churches, that they show in the movies and in Christianity, it's not the same God of the Bible.
Right.
The God of the Bible and the God that we taught in the world is not the same person. All right? Read up a little bit more so they can see what's going on.
The book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 21. Then Jesus went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast.
So another woman of another nation came to him
and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David.
My new son of David, of that lineage of the Jews.
My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil. But he answered her not a word.
I love when I read this, because you got to think about it. The Jesus Christ that they talk about loves everybody. But the Christ in the Bible, a woman came to him, Lord, my daughter, she's sick, she got a spirit on, help her. Imagine Christ is like, he didn't answer a word. But I thought Christ loved everybody, right? So he didn't answer a word. I got you, hold on.
But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying,
Now imagine the 12 disciples, right? The 12 disciples, after he ignored her, then the 12 disciples came to Christ, and this is what he said to them. They said to him,
Send her away.
The 12 disciples, Peter, Paul, and all that, not Paul wasn't there, but John and all that, they say, Christ, tell her to get out of here. This is the people of the Bible, this is the real Bible.
For she crieth after us.
So she's stressing us out.
But he answered and said,
Now this is when he gets to that verse.
I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
He's saying, listen, when my father sent me down here, I wasn't sent for every nation. I was only sent for the Israelites. I was only sent for my people. That's all the way, you read that all the way from Genesis. So this is why we come out here and say it's important to know who we are. Because when Christ come back, he's not coming for a Christian. He's not coming back for a Catholic. He's not coming back for Hispanic, Mexican, Puerto Rican. He's not coming back. He's coming back for people that know who they are and repent and keep his commandments. And the faith of him. You understand that? That's the important thing about it. Not my sisters.
He's coming back for everybody. That's what he wants. He wants to come back for everybody.
Oh, he's coming back for everybody.
Who's revenge the ones who's going with.
But everybody's not his people. When he comes back, he comes back for punishment.
Right.
But to stay with the point. With that being said, I want to point something out. You grew up in the church? Okay, what? Catholic? Just Christian church? I grew up in the Catholic church. So I see the cross, right? Well, it's supposed to represent your grandfather, right? So we wear that in representation, supposed to be about God, correct? Okay. Now, in our minds is that, but we're going to realize that even though we, in our minds, we look at that as supposed to be a representation of God, like I wear it for God, is actually in the Bible the opposite.
Right.
It's actually an idol, right? But you're going to realize, give me that, Rebecca, real quick for my sister.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 18.
Bring it out.
What profiteth the graven image that the maker thereof have graven it?
It's saying what profit it is, because there's nothing wrong with wearing a necklace. It's about what are you wearing and what it's supposed to represent. Because when we see that, our people automatically think, oh, Christians should be living Christ in the fold. But they're not believing in the real God of the Bible. The first thing they think about is this guy right here.
Right.
I love everybody. Different doctrine, different God. This is false. So when they see that, the first thing they're going to think about, Jesus Cristo. They're not thinking about the black man that you read in Revelation.
The molten image and a teacher of life.
That's a teacher life. That's what I'm saying. To you, you're going to be like, no, it's for me, it's just about God. But when people see that, first thing they're going to think about is Christianity.
Right, right.
What is nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.